to our show Real Talk,
where no scene is safe from our forensic fun. 2 birds, 1 corpse of a movie, 0 restraint.
Ladies, gentlemen, and emotionally unhinged directors, welcome to the only operating table where cinema gets sliced, diced, and occasionally flambéed.
Grab your popcorn and a parachute, folks, 'cause we're diving beak first into the guts of this movie. And trust me, it gets messy.
I am Sir Claude Montage, film coroner, editor emeritus, and part-time destroyer of cinematic dreams.
And I'm Flapjack Jones, your chaos consultant, winged wordsmith, and self-appointed minister of explosions.
Together we dissect the art and mock the nonsense.
Let the dissection begin. May the scenes rest in pieces.
A Tchaikovsky Swan Lake, the perfect soundtrack for checks notes, impending doom, and childhood trauma. Because nothing says happy memories like a little girl listening to the same tune that's about to accompany a home invasion. Pure, unadulterated, orchestral foreshadowing.
So elegant, boss. Like my pre-flight stretching routine. But then, boom! Feathers everywhere. I thought we were getting a ballet documentary, not Extreme Home Makeover Assassin Edition.
Indeed, Cockatoo. Here we meet young Eve. She says, "It was terrible. I can't do it." And her father, bless his naive heart, replies, "Not yet, but you will." Oh, honey, if you only knew what it truly entailed. Spoiler alert, it involves less pliés and more pulverizing. Look at the gentle interaction between Eve and her father. It's almost sickeningly sweet, isn't it? Like a warm hug before a very cold, very sharp knife enters the picture. The kind of warmth that just makes the coming chill feel even colder.
You're growing up so fast, says Daddy. Yeah, so fast she's about to experience a growth spurt that involves dodging bullets instead of just growing taller. Talk about accelerated learning.
And just like that, the music box stops and the real show begins. The handle squeaks. Clearly they needed to oil that. Amateurs. An arrow whizzes by, shattering glass. Classic villain entrance. No knocking, no trick or treat, just pure, unadulterated home invasion chic. Who are these rude house guests, and why are they so terrible at home decor? Stay tuned, because the answer is complicated and very, very stabby.
Ooh, a fight scene! More grunting than a ball convention. And what's with the muted grunts? Are they trying to be polite assassins? Pardon me, sir, while I dislocate your shoulder with utmost discretion.
Then we hear German shouting, because nothing says international criminal enterprise like yelling in a language most of the audience won't understand. Keeps things mysterious, you see, and helps with the whole evil mastermind vibe. I bet they have a German phrasebook for villains. Chapter 1, How to Sound Menacing While Breaking Someone's Kneecap. Chapter 2, Polite Ways to Demand Information from a Tied-Up Hostage. Ah, the Symphony of Shattered Bone. A classic. 3 bone crunches in quick succession. Clearly these guys don't skip leg day, or arm day, or any day really. They just crunch. The camera work here is deliberately disorienting, putting us in Eve's shoes as she hides, hearing but not seeing the horror unfold. It amplifies the sense of helplessness and fear, which, let's be honest, is just good old-fashioned emotional manipulation.
He says, "We opened our hearts to you," and then proceeds to close them permanently with extreme prejudice. Talk about mixed signals.
Where is Eve? Classic villain mistake. Always ask before you start the bone crunching. It's just good form. And then he calls Eve's father a fucking coward. Pot, meet kettle, then watch the kettle get a bullet in it. This dialogue reveals a core theme, the idea of fate versus choice. The villain tries to absolve himself by claiming there are no choices, but then immediately presents Eve's father with a choice. It's the ultimate hypocrisy, setting the stage for Eve's own struggle with destiny.
Chip! Oh, Papa, no! And then the muffled, "Hey, baby, look at me." Sir, with all due respect, I don't think she wants to look right now. She wants to unlook. And maybe get a new dad who doesn't attract so much gestures wildly. Unpleasantness!
The sirens wail in the distance. Always late, aren't they? And then, in a masterful segue, we cut to Winston, the high table's most dapper concierge, discussing Tchaikovsky, because nothing screams grief counseling like discussing classical music after your father's just been turned into a human pretzel. Winston, ever the diplomat, says there are no easy answers for grief, but there are, certainly, some very hard consequences for those who caused it, wouldn't you say?
Winston's like, your father was a good man, but he kinda messed up. Classic British understatement, boss. Just a spot of bother, really, darling. Only a full-blown family massacre, no biggie.
He offers to take her to her father's family, the Ruska Roma. Sounds like a delightful summer camp, doesn't it? Come to the Ruska Roma, where instead of arts and crafts, we teach you how to disarm a man with a single pirouette. You know, the Ruska Roma probably has a 5-star rating on Yelp for their unique training programs and exceptional life skills coaching, though the reviews probably mention a distinct lack of gluten-free options and an abundance of target practice.
Wait. Did the door just open and close twice? Is someone having trouble with the hinges, or is this place just that exclusive? Maybe it's a security measure. Like if you can't open a door, you probably can't assassinate anyone. Genius!
And then the director, a woman who looks like she could curdle milk with a single stare. She asks, does she know who her parents really were? Of course not. That would ruin the whole mysterious origin story vibe. And then she asks if Eve can dance, because clearly the ability to do a fouette is directly correlated with one's capacity for cold-blooded murder. I bet her interviews are just like, can you hit that high note? Good. Can you also hit that guy in the face with a brick? Even better, you're hired.
Eve's like, thank you, Mr. Winston. And Winston, with his usual charm, says, you are most welcome, Miss Macaro, and know that I will always be at your service. Translation, I'm here to make sure you pay your bills and don't bleed too much on the carpets. Also, please don't start a continental-wide war. Again.
Then we meet Nogi, who drops the bombshell. Eve's father was a kikimora. Sounds like a delicious cocktail, but it's actually a vengeful Slavic spirit. So, Eve's not just a ballerina, she's a supernatural ballet dancing avenger. Which, honestly, sounds like the pitch for a very niche Saturday morning cartoon. The Kikimora Ballerina, Point Shoes of Peril, coming soon to a streaming service near you.
Wait, so if her dad was a vengeful spirit, does that mean he haunted people by making them listen to Tchaikovsky until they surrendered? Because, honestly, boss, that's a more effective torture method than anything I've seen on the high tables menu.
The training montage. Eve's grunting more than a competitive weightlifter. The director, ever the motivator, asks, are you finished? Eve sighs, no. Good, because we've got 90 more minutes to fill.
My trainer told me I run like a wounded gazelle. I told him he looks like a confused potato. We have a very healthy, supportive relationship.
And that charming line from the director, "Tend to your wounds before you get sepsis and we have to cut off your feet." Nothing says caring mentor like threatening amputation.
Tatiana says, "That woman hates me." And Eve replies, "She hates everybody." Classic gym camaraderie.
My cat gives me the same look when I try to get him to do anything but nap. It's a universal language, that look of pure disdain.
Who needs pliés when you can incapacitate someone with a well-aimed pirouette to the kneecap? Ballet for self-defense, the next big fitness trend.
The instructor declares, "One bullet, well placed, can change the world." And the Kikimora's purpose is to stop that bullet. So, Eve is a bullet-stopping, world-changing ballet dancing machine. Sounds like a great resume.
My resume just says, "Excellent at making noise and eating seeds." I guess we all have our talents. The rules for the training exercise. Protect your ward at all costs. That is the only rule. Simple, straightforward, and about to be gloriously complicated.
My dating life has similar simple, straightforward rules, and it always ends up gloriously complicated. Maybe I should just stick to protecting my pizza from my roommate. Eve fails, claiming her opponent is too strong, and Nogi delivers the truth bomb. You will always be weaker. You will always be smaller and at a disadvantage. This isn't just about fighting. It's about the ultimate underdog story. Nogi's advice is crucial. Improvise, adapt, cheat. Lean into your strengths, not his. Fight like a girl. This isn't just a catchy tagline. It's a redefinition of strength, turning perceived weaknesses into strategic advantages.
And then Eve turns the tables. She's improvising, adapting, and probably cheating like a boss. She just turned that guy into a human pretzel.
See, I told you she was basically a human pretzel maker. Forget the ballet career, Eve. Open up a boutique pretzel shop. Eve's Existential Pretzels, where every twist tells a story. Tatiana didn't have the killer instinct. Eve, on the other hand, is practically overflowing with it. It's like a superpower. But instead of flying, she just really wants to punch people.
My killer instinct usually involves strategically stealing sunflower seeds from the other birds. It's a cutthroat world out there in the bird feeder.
Indeed, Cockatoo. It sounds like you've got your own brand of ruthless efficiency. Perhaps you and Eve should team up. What do you say, a ballet-dancing assassin and a seed-stealing, trash-talking bird? Sounds like a dynamic duo to me. Cut to an older, battle-hardened Eve. Still with the music box, still with the ominous music. The director tells John Wick, "Your ticket is torn. You can never come home again." It's like getting kicked out of the world's most exclusive and violent country club.
Eve sees John Wick and asks, "How do I get out of here?" John, ever the sage, says, "The front door is unlocked." Best advice ever. It's like asking a life coach for a business plan and they just say, "Open a lemonade stand." Nailed it.
Nogi gives Eve her first contract. Protect Catla Park at a club called -11. Rubber bullets? Problem? Nogi asks. No, says Eve. Because Eve doesn't need real bullets. She can take you down with a well-aimed glare.
Ha! In position. Sex dancing through dudes like she's auditioning for So You Think You Can Shank. The crowd is screaming, bone-shattering, and Eve is just doing her thing.
Oops, pardon me, just breaking your collarbone, darling. After the mayhem, Eve finds a severed hand. Not a clue, a trauma flashback with a fingerprint. You know, just your average Tuesday for an assassin. Most people find a lost earring. Eve finds a dismembered limb. Toucan, what's the weirdest thing you ever found?
A half-eaten bag of corn nuts and a single sparkly roller skate. This hand thing is way weirder. Was there a little note on it? To Eve, from your past. P.S. Call me.
The discovery of the hand is the catalyst. It shifts Eve's focus from a professional assignment to a deeply personal quest. The scar is not just a mark, it's a direct link to the night her life shattered.
Hey, what the hell is going on up there? Somebody respond. Were you stuck in the elevator?
Yes, it was very scary. Eve's response to the security guard after leaving a trail of unconscious bodies? Yes, it was very scary. Masterful. Toucan, you ever lie to an elevator guard?
I lied to a potted plant once about its sun exposure. I told it was doing great. It was in a closet. It's been a tough week for that fern.
She shows Winston the severed hand, and he's just like, "Is there a reason you've brought me a severed hand?" As if this is a common occurrence. "Oh yes, I get these all the time. Tuesdays are severed hand day."
She tells Winston she'll smile and nod and then ignore his advice. Winston probably just sighed internally and added another line item to the expected damages budget. Another one bites the dust. Or the bullet in this case.
Eve confronts Nogi and the director. "You knew who they were," she accuses. And Nogi, with all the grace of a brick, basically says, "Yeah, they're psychos with no rules, so we ignore them. Peace treaty, darling." It's the ultimate not my problem attitude from people who train killers. Hello, my dear. Muriel, be a darling and bring up the latest Blackwire submissions on a Daniel Pine. Winston's informant Muriel informs them about Daniel Pine, holed up in the Prague Continental, room 315, eating a shitload of room service, mostly ice cream. Clearly he's either stressed or heartbroken, or he just really loves ice cream. Honestly, who can blame him? I once ate an entire tub of Rocky Road after my favorite show got cancelled.
Eve checks into room 314, right next door. Convenient! Like she's trying to borrow a cup of sugar, but instead it's a cup of "Where are the bad guys?"
Who are you?
Shit.
You're not supposed to say that word.
Right, sorry.
What's your name? Ella? I'm Eve. You're not here to hurt my daddy, are you?
Eve encounters Ella, Pine's daughter. He is in the shower, and Ella, bless her innocent heart, scolds Eve for saying shit, because even in a world of assassins, profanity is still a no-no for kids. Priorities, people.
Fuck. You just made everything a whole lot worse. Pine gets a phone call, realizes the contract on him is doubled, and yells, "Fuck!" He then tells Eve, "You just made everything a whole lot worse." Thanks for the update, Captain Obvious. It's like kicking a beehive and then telling someone, "You know, I think we agitated the bees. Boss, quick, a joke!"
Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field.
Boo! You're fired! I've got one. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything!
Okay, that was better, but only just. Anyway, the cult attacks the hotel. Pine begs Eve to help Ella, revealing Eve's Kikimora status. You're Kikimora. Isn't that what you do? Help me protect her. I'll tell you where to find them. A classic quid pro quo, but with more gunfire.
Hi. Huh?
It's okay.
Hey,
How many left?
2, maybe 10.
Pine's estimation of the remaining enemies, 2, maybe 10. Very precise. It's like saying I have $2 or maybe 10. Probably 10. Definitely 10 when the bill comes. This guy needs a better math teacher. Or a better accountant. Or maybe just a calculator.
Oh, fuck it, says Pine, as they jump beside a moving train. Because when in doubt, add a train. It always makes an action scene better and louder and more likely to end in dramatic fatalities.
Daddy!
The train sequence is a chaotic masterpiece. People screaming, a train horn blaring, and then the sound muffles. Because when you're being shot at besides a moving train, clarity is the last thing you need. And then flies buzzing. A subtle yet unsettling touch for the aftermath. What's the next logical step?
A really intense dance-off besides the high-speed train. With light-up shoes! Come on, we need more flair!
Lena calls the cult leader, later revealed to be the Chancellor, and confirms they have Ella. The Chancellor's reaction to Eve. Do we know who she is? Not yet. Again with the not yet. Are these villains just bad at reconnaissance? I bet their cult recruitment video is just them asking, do you know who we are? No? Good. Perfect. You're hired.
Eve checks out of the Continental with a gold coin and says, I'd like to go hunting. Salesman, ever the professional, asks, large or small game? Eve replies, large, because she doesn't do small. She goes for the jugular, literally.
Then we get the weapons montage. It's like a firearms catalog come to life. The V7 Harbinger TTI, the Trichicon AccuPoint, the TTI Custom Benelli M2, and the charming salesman says, this will take a bear's head off easily. I bet that gun salesman has a very specific dating profile. Loves long walks on the beach, fine wines, and discussing the ballistics of high-powered rifles, seeking a partner who appreciates a good recoil.
They get ambushed immediately after getting the guns, of course. Why even have a peaceful moment? It's like buying a new pair of shoes and immediately stepping in a puddle of mud. The world just doesn't want you to be happy.
The director calls Eve, clearly displeased that her star pupil is off-leash and causing international incidents.
Did you think I would not find out?
She booms. Eve, with the audacity of a true protagonist, demands, then tell me who they are! Because rules are for other people, right?
The cult attacks the restaurant, and someone screams,
Agnetha!
Clearly Agnetha is a known troublemaker. I bet she has a recurring slot on Most Wanted posters. Wanted, Agnetha. Last seen causing mayhem in a picturesque alpine village, possibly with a side of schnitzel.
Eve finally reaches the Chancellor, the cult leader. He asks, are you having a little tea party? Oh, Chancellor, if only. It's more of a bloodbath, actually. And then, the bombshell. Lena, the Chancellor's enforcer, reveals to him,
She's your sister!
mic drop. The plot twist hits harder than a well-placed roundhouse kick. All this time, Eve was hunting for the murderers of her father, only to find out they're her long-lost family. Talk about an awkward family reunion.
And then John Wick shows up. The director sent him. She's like, she sent you here to kill me? John's zen-like reply, that's up to you. Or you can leave. Your choice. The ultimate choose-your-own-adventure game, but with real bullets and very real consequences.
The final battle. Eve and John Wick against an entire village of cultists. It's like a very violent game of whack-a-mole, but the moles are armed and very angry. I bet the cult's internal memo for the day read, "Urgent, all members report for duty. Bring your pitchforks, your shotguns, and your least favorite cult robe. We have a Ballaerina and a Baba Yaga to deal with. This is not a drill."
The Chancellor confronts Eve, trying to convince her that nothing is going to change. And to cut the story short, Eve pulls the trigger. The Chancellor has a head wound, a deep one, and sleeps for forever. The director, Jardani? Tashil. So, she is dead? He is dead.
The director calls John Wick. "So, she is dead?" she asks. And John, with his usual brevity, says, "He is dead." Because why use many words when few words do trick? Classic John Wick. Probably saved on his phone plan.
And there you have it, folks. The condensed but no less chaotic Ballaerina explainer. Who knew ballet could be so lethal?
So, what did we learn today? Don't mess with ballerinas. Seriously. They will pirouette on your face. And don't trust cults, especially if they have an ice cream addiction. And always, always oil your door handles.
We hope you enjoyed our witty insights and perfectly timed sarcastic remarks. Did we miss anything? Did your favorite bone-crunching moment get enough airtime? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked our feathered antics, make sure to like, subscribe, and squawk that notification bell.
Until next time, stay safe, stay sharp, and maybe take a ballet class, just in case. You never know when you'll need to execute a perfect grand jeté over a fleeing villain or a very angry badger.
Good night, and try not to dream of bone crunching. Unless it's your bones doing the crunching, in which case, well played.